During a routine patrol in a local shopping center, Officer Daniels made a heart-wrenching discovery. In the far corner of the parking lot, he found a 3-year-old girl sitting alone, almost invisible amidst all the parked cars. Yet concerned, he approached her gently, kneeling down to her level to ask why she was there all alone. "The little girl," she whispered. "Mom doesn't want me home." Officer Daniels' eyes widened as he heard what the little girl said. What kind of parents would do such a thing? This had to be some kind of misunderstanding. The girl probably had no idea what she was even saying. But before we start, smash the like button and make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any new stories. Officer Daniels decided to stay with the girl and keep her safe until her parents found her. They were probably worried sick and looking for her all over the place. "My name is Jason. What is your name?" he asked the girl, hoping that he could get some information out of her if he earned her trust. Ella, she replied shyly. "Wow, what a beautiful name," Jason said, and a smile appeared on the little girl's face. "Ella, let's go look for your parents. Do you know where they are?" he asked, and the smile immediately disappeared from her face again. "No, Mommy doesn't want me," she said again, and Jason raised an eyebrow in confusion. "Let's go take a walk, okay?" He reached out his hand for Ella to take it, and together they walked into the shopping center. He took her to the control room and explained the situation to the information officer who was on duty. The officer made an announcement about Ella being lost and requested her parents to come to the information center right away. Upon hearing this, Ella's face fell, and she repeated again, "No, Mommy doesn't want me." Jason and the information officer exchanged worried glances, unsure of what to do. They decided to wait there a bit longer, and the officer repeated the announcement another time. However, no one showed up. Besides, the security cameras only showed empty corridors. The shopping center was about to close. "Ella, should we play a game?" Jason asked her. The first one to see a yellow car wins. The little girl's eyes lit up, and she nodded, letting out a soft giggle. This was the perfect way to get her back to the parking lot without having to mention her parents again. Jason thought it seemed to upset her every time they did that. Jason thanked the information officer, and he and Ella made their way outside again. There were even fewer cars in the parking lot than before, seeing as all the visitors of the mall had gone home, and to Ella's disappointment, none of them were yellow. Jason was disappointed as well, but for a different reason. He couldn't believe that nobody had come looking for this little girl. In the end, he decided to take her to the police station with him. He'd think of a plan there. "It looks like there aren't any yellow cars here. Do you want to come with me and look somewhere else?" he asked her, and Ella nodded. Now that Jason took a closer look at her, he noticed some strange things. Her hair was a mess, uncombed and full of knots, and her clothes and hands were dirty as well. He had no idea what was going on, but one thing was clear: there was something strange about this whole situation. Once they arrived there, one of Jason's colleagues, Michelle, was already waiting for them outside. Jason didn't have any kids, but Michelle did, and he thought Ella might feel more comfortable with a woman, too. Michelle also happened to keep some of her daughter's plush toys in her office, and as soon as Ella heard about those, she was really excited to see them. So Michelle cared for Ella as Jason tried to track down her parents. He really needed to find them. He checked every database and looked into all the missing person reports, but he found nothing useful. In the dimly lit security room, Officer Jason Daniels scrutinized the footage that the shopping mall officer had shared with them. The screen flickered as he watched a nondescript car enter the frame, halting in the parking lot. It was here the little girl, Ella, was left alone. The car's presence seemed ominous, a silent prelude to the mystery unfolding before him. Jason noted the car's license plate, a potential lead in this puzzling case. With determined keystrokes, he entered the numbers into the database. The screen blinked, then displayed a disheartening message: "No match found." The car, like a ghost, left no trace in the system, deepening the mystery surrounding Ella's arrival. The car's link to Ella was undeniable, yet its origins remained shrouded in secrecy. He needed to dive deeper to follow the scant clues he had. With a new resolve, Jason decided to extend his search beyond the screens and databases into the real world where Ella's story began. Returning to the footage, Jason squinted, seeking any overlooked detail. Jason knew that somewhere in these silent images lay the answers he so desperately sought. Jason stepped out into the bustling streets surrounding the shopping center. He approached passersby and shopkeepers, showing Ella's picture, asking if anyone recognized her. Their faces reflected a mixture of curiosity and concern, but no one could offer any substantial information about the little girl who had suddenly become the center of a deepening mystery. In a small cafe just a block from the shopping center, "Yes, I've seen her," he said, his voice tinged with unease. "She often wandered around here late at night, always alone." His words sent a shiver down Jason's spine, painting a picture of Ella's loneliness in the silent night. Other shopkeepers provided mixed accounts. Some remembered seeing a girl resembling Ella, playing by herself at odd hours. None knew her by name, nor did they know anything about her parents. Their stories were fragments, echoes of a child seen but not known, adding layers to the enigma that surrounded her. Back at the police station, Ella's demeanor began to change subtly. In the presence of Jason and Michelle, her initial apprehension slowly gave way to a cautious comfort. During a moment of calm at the station, Ella's voice broke the silence. "There was a big house with blue doors," she said softly, her eyes looking into the distance. She tried to recall more, her brow furrowing in concentration, struggling to piece together the fragmented memories. This small yet vivid detail opened a new avenue in Jason's search, a tangible clue in the midst of swirling uncertainty. And as Ella grew more comfortable in the station, she began to share more about her personal likes. Her face lit up with joy when she talked about her favorite toys, a ragged teddy bear and set of bright, colorful blocks. As the days passed, Jason found himself increasingly invested in Ella's well-being. Observing her gradual transformation from a scared, lonely child into a more open and trusting little girl, he felt a deepening sense of responsibility and connection. It was an unspoken bond, growing stronger with each passing day, compelling him to do everything in his power to help her. Fueled by Ella's words, Jason embarked on a quest to locate the house with blue doors. He combed through the neglected corners of the town, his eyes searching for that distinctive hue. In a forlorn part of town, Jason's perseverance paid off. There it stood, the house with blue doors, as Ella had described. His words sent a shiver down Jason's spine, painting a picture of Ella's loneliness in the silent night. Other shopkeepers provided mixed accounts. Some remembered seeing a girl resembling Ella, playing by herself at odd hours. None knew her by name, nor did they know anything about her parents. Their stories were fragments, echoes of a child seen but not known, adding layers to the enigma that surrounded her. The shelter's involvement suggested that Ella's mother had sought help, indicating deeper issues within the family that had remained hidden until now. She wrote that she was ill and couldn't care for Ella by herself anymore. The tone of these letters conveyed a sense of urgency and fear, a mother's cry for help in protecting her child. Determined to unearth more details, Jason decided to visit the women's shelter in person. Upon arriving at the shelter, Jason braced himself for difficult conversations. The staff, sympathetic to his cause, shared the sad truth about Ella's mother. She had sought refuge there, overwhelmed by her circumstances. Their revelation painted a picture of a woman struggling against insurmountable odds, trying to find a safe haven for herself and her daughter. The most heartbreaking revelation came when Jason learned about the fate of Ella's mother. His shelter staff informed him that she had passed away due to a severe illness. This news hit Jason hard as he realized the depth of despair Ella's mother must have faced, fighting a battle she ultimately couldn't win, leaving Ella alone in the world. During his visit, Jason also inquired about Ella's father. The shelter staff had little information, but what they knew wasn't promising. They believed he had been involved in illegal activities and had disappeared. The stark reality of Ella's abandonment became painfully clear to Jason. Left alone in the world, first by her mother's tragic demise and then by her father's absence, Ella's journey was one of profound loneliness and vulnerability. After much contemplation, Jason made a heartfelt decision. Moved by Ella's story and the bond they had formed, he chose to become her foster parent. It was a decision driven not just by duty, but by a deep sense of care and connection. Jason embarked on the journey through the foster care system's complexities. It was a maze of paperwork, legal requirements, and meetings. Despite the challenges, he remained determined. In a twist of fate, a chance encounter led Jason to discover Ella's maternal grandparents. They had been searching for Ella since her mother's disappearance. This discovery opened the door to a part of Ella's family that she had never known, a link to her mother and her heritage that had been missing from her life. The meeting between Ella and her grandparents was an emotional watershed. For Ella, it was the discovery of a family she didn't know she had. For her grandparents, it was the end of a painful, uncertain search. Tears were shed, stories were shared, and a new family bond began to form, filling a void in Ella's life with newfound love and connection. The story culminates with Jason, now Ella's godfather, reflecting on their journey. He thought about the profound impact Ella had on his life, transforming him in ways he never anticipated. His journey with Ella was one of compassion, challenge, and ultimately love. It was a testament to the unexpected paths life can take and the transformative power of caring for another.